Good morning, loves. Hello, this is Jawan with EQ with Ja. So, I wanted to bring an understanding of a message to the law of duality. It is simply the phrase yin and yang, as above, so below, sun, moon, the whole light dark aspect. Darkness is not evil, and darkness is not negative. Darkness has been associated with a lot of things that are the polarity of the duality of something that is either light, reflection, or positive. The cat. So understanding that there's still going to be things in the light that are not deemed good, just like there's things in the dark that are good. What I'm trying to get to is the seed simply grows in darkness because we all started in the womb of darkness, and the heart is always in the chest cavity of darkness. We know that love exists here. We feel it. The one thing I always want to say is that you might not be able to see light in darkness, and that's why it is darkness, but you can feel it. Even though the soil, it knows as long as you put it in the sun, the soil is going to absorb the nutrients from the sun. And then the seed will still get the same nutrients and it's going to feel it. One day that sprout will come through the ground and it will grow and it's going to feel the real heat of the sun and how to learn how to survive in that. Think about how many times if you really gardened and you get sprouts and they start growing and you don't cover them fast enough and the sun singes them. They had all that growth underground in the darkness, but once they hit the light, they didn't know what to do. This is who we are innately as humans and what we've been given and what we've been taught generationally. Recognizing when to say, okay, I was planted here, not by choice, but by forethought. May it be that we all grow well here, or maybe because we settled here and it's an easy place to grow. When we do that, we accept everything that the earth is giving us. That's the same place of when we growing up in our hometowns. That's all sedentary ancestor that sat there for years and years and years. And whatever energy's been there the longest, that's the energy that resides there. Now, bear with me, stay with me for a moment. When you start paying attention to wherever you grew up, may you want to call it the darkness or the light. I grew up in the suburbs. People think that's lighter. I've been in the suburbs. I think actually there's a lot more malicious things that go on in the suburbs than I feel than in any major city where I've been, where things happen openly that I don't agree with, but there was more community who were willing to step in and say, no, that is not right and it's not going to happen. So, knowing just because you have access to one or the other doesn't make it good or bad. And this is my point. Learning how to decipher through, even what I'm saying, learning how to decipher through the darkness of your own emotions wakes you up to a place of how you're receptive to how your soul grows. Because when you can say, you know what, this doesn't feel right, let me sit with this, you're allowing yourself to not only cognitively go through the moment of why you said no, you're also allowing your body to feel the rejection it wanted to give and you saying no back to it. Because your ego is built to protect you. That's your body, your senses. It's going to say, no, oh, doesn't feel right. Oh, my stomach hurts. I shouldn't do it. No, your stomach hurting is just saying, this is something new, or maybe it doesn't feel right. But you have to learn how to decipher what's this is new and I'm excited and I want to try, or this is danger, get away. You should know how to read your gut language, just like you should know how to read your heart palpitations or your palpitations. If your heart is beating at a certain speed anytime a certain person comes around or a certain occurrence is happening, ask yourself why. Don't say, oh, they intimidate me, or oh, I'm scared. You might not actually be scared. Your body might just be saying, hey, this person has a meaning in your life, or hey, this person might be of a danger. Walk away. Again, learning how to differentiate the two will help you learn how to grow out of your darkness and into your natural light to show who you are all the time. Because when you're able to break the seed and you come through the ground of conditioning, because all ground is conditioned, unless you were just, again, the oopsie babies or a seed that randomly blew through the air and it fell on the ground and just grew, which happens, doesn't mean that it won't be strong and an integral part of the environment. It just means it was an oopsie. Oopsies make beauty too. Just because you plan it don't mean it's going to turn out right. This is all of nature. So understanding how to nurture your emotions and how to nurture yourself and what we call our dark moments, anxiety, depression, you know, melancholy, all of these things that bring us back to a place of stagnicity, but also silence. Like, I'm not just saying this because I'm trying to teach someone. These are things that I've been through myself. And when I can stop and recognize that I was in a place of melancholy or depression or just, shame, is because I wasn't differentiating the words and I wasn't giving them implied intent. I was taking an all encompassing mood. I'm in a mood, and I just took the whole mood and just went through everything. And that's what we do to our generations, which I don't personally feel is fair. I feel like we should get a shot at knowing how to differentiate someone else's emotions to our own. Because if someone taught me being shameful is someone else deeming something you do as bad and they're trying to control you, feeling embarrassed is that embedded conditioning that I should feel bad about myself because people are looking at me and they might judge me. Those are both conditional things, but one does have more weight than the other. Shaming something and embarrassing something, they're both innately connected, but there's still levels to it all. And we start to forget that words are spells. They have meanings to them beyond the conditioning of us repeating them. Like name, think about it. Name is name because someone said name means say the word that someone told you is the sound that represents who you are. That's a name. Name is universal. That's when you stop and think about the magnitude of ancestor and how deep and far back we go. Because anybody around the world, it doesn't matter where they came from. Name, name. They know to say name, and they know they're at least going to get something connected to you. Name that represents this person. This person is this entity. And anything in that moment before they can break you down, your name represents all of that. That's when you start understanding your package. This is why being solid on the inside, knowing how to love your darkness and provide light to it when it needs it, it will reflect on the outside, and that will draw in more people who want light. And you have to know how to counterbalance all of that light being absorbed from you and not knowing how to tap back into yourself. This is why empaths get depleted. This is why celebrities might go crazy. Celebrities are just empaths who accepted that they're meant to be on a bigger stage and they're ready and able to give their message and not let their vessel take over. Some people let their vessel take over, unfortunately. And that can be that. What I mean is that you have to learn that your gift is always grown out of darkness. We are a gift. We grew out of darkness. We came from our mother's wombs. Everything that we have, our dreams, they start in darkness. And then we use quantum creation to draw them and write them out and make them a tangible form. And now that tangible piece of paper is real. It's real. Once you put it on paper, it's real. You have to understand it doesn't matter if you are not holding the prototype. The fact that you wrote it down made it more real than anything else that can exist in your head. You understand what I'm saying? Documenting your journey and telling your story is how you get closer to God. And God is you because you are this ever giving thing. Think about us as humans. We keep having babies and producing and other animals and nature. Nature just keeps replicating itself without even really trying. It just happens. And then all of this stuff just grows out of that. And then we come out talking and thinking and conditioning, and we believe that that's our journey. It's not all of our journey, it's just part of our story. Start learning how to love yourself through the dark journeys so you're able to close the timelines and heal yourself to the love that you're meant to have. All right, guys, I love you. Keep staying with you. Besos. Mwah.